All right, welcome to this lesson on your pre-release material, June 2021. So you're already acquainted with your pre-release task. We're going to do a review and also give you some brief introduction of what you need to know. So as you know, we have an electric train mountain uh, that is going to go up and down a mountain. Okay, and it will be going at 4 different time interval: 9, 11, 13, and 15. And as you know, there are 480 different seats available each time the train is going up or down, except when for down, you're going to see that for the last time interval, that is at 16 hours, it's going to be 640 different seats. So the train is going to come down at time 10, 12, 14, and 16. And as you know that the time was separated 2 hours in between. That is 10 plus 2, 12, 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 2, 16. Now, some important points concerning task 1 is that 2 arrays, in fact, we have 3 arrays most probably for this task, but there will be 2 arrays reserved for storing the number of available tickets for going up and down the hill. Example passenger ups, you're going to see that the array will be initialized to 480 for each of them, and all indices of the array hold the value 480 because initially no one has ordered any ticket. So as soon as our program start running, we'll need to subtract the value. Now, if I read index 1, for example, passengers underscore up at index 1, it will give me the number of available ticket at 9 a.m. And at index 2, it's going to give me that of time 11. For passengers down itself, we have 480 initialized at all indices, except for the last one, it's going to be 640. Now for storing costs, we are using only one single array. One single array is used to store the 4 different costs for each individual train. Hence, an array cost is used for the following. So if I look at the first index, it's going to give me the total cost for going up and down. Now you may use 2 different cost variables. Later on, you'll need to sum up the indices. Let's say you're going to keep the cost separating in an array cost underscore up. So the first index for cost underscore up, it will be the cost for going up the mountain at 9 a.m. And cost underscore down index 1, that will be for that at 10 a.m. Now for task 1, we're supposed to first of all declare and initialize all the different values that are needed. 2 arrays for storing number of tickets available for going up and down the mountain, 1 array for cost, and the required constant if needed for the cost and maximum passengers in a particular coach. Then we'll write codes to display free tickets available for going up and down the hill. Let's look at the Pseudocode version for task 1 that has already been provided to you. So first of all, you're going to see the num journey, a constant, is initialized with value 4. Then we normally have max passengers, another constant, which is initialized to a value of 480. So you're going to see I have put comment on the right side of this Word document. So we use a constant to store the number of passengers in each coach. There are 480. Then I need to initialize time up and time down. These are 2 variables. Since we can't normally declare array directly in a pseudocode, static values, okay, we'll need to use 2 variable time up and time down. Okay, these two variables are going to be incremented and they will create two arrays, which is time up and time down. Okay, so for index 1 to num journey, I'm going to change the array for passengers up to a value of 480. Same for time up, it will start at 9. Then the next index will be storing 11. So time down again, indexes will be time down. Except for the fourth index, we'll need to set it to max passenger plus 160. This is because 480 plus 160 is because we have two extra coaches in the last index. Otherwise, you can set it to 640. As we're going to say, I'm initializing my cost index to 0. Then my time up, I'm going to add 2. My time down, I'm going to add 2 to it. So all the comments have been set for you concerning the pseudocode. Next, I'm going to write down the pseudocode for displaying the number of available tickets. So again, I'm going to loop from position 1 to num journey. Then I'll put time up index, the time for going up, but that's close. If it is a value 0, it's going to be close. Otherwise, it's going to display the number of free available tickets. Otherwise, if passengers down index is 0, it will be close. Otherwise, I'll put the available number of passengers. We're going to jump to the Visual Basic. So first of all, the first array that we need to declare is I go ahead and do dim time underscore up as integer. And as you know, time underscore up will require 4 integer values. If we see here, we can normally give 3 different integer values to that. So 9, 11, 13, and 15. Okay, these are the 2 different integer values. Explicit int is not permitted for arrays declared with explicit bound. Okay, you have no need to set the length of the array. So you just do dim time up. I'm declaring an array of type integer of 4 different values. The same for time down. Except it will be 10, 12, 14, and 16. Now same for declaring passengers underscore up as integer. So all of them will be initialized to a value of 480. Okay, what you need to know, Visual Basic, the first index of the array start with 0 and not 1. So here I'm looking at index 0, which is 9, and this is index 1, 2, and 3. So the last index will be 3, but not 4. Compared to pseudocode, it starts with 1. Here we're starting with an index of 0. So this is for passenger up. We're going to initialize next for passenger down. And as such, the last one is going to be 640. Next, I can use my constant. So my constant as I have to provide a name. So I just put it num underscore journey as integer is equal to 4. So since I have not used a constant, we'll have to use it. This is why it is highlighting it as green. Next, I have to initialize a constant for cost. But as you know, we need to initialize also a cost variable. So I'm just going to put cost and initialize. So I'm using a single array. 0, 0, 0, and 0. Dim constant num journey as well. And then if you want to initialize for now the price, that's okay. Okay, you can initialize the price, but task one is mostly about time up, time down, passengers up and passengers down. So we just need to write code for displaying time up and time down. This is quite easy in Visual Basic. As you can see, with just 1 or 4 lines, I can just initialize the array. Okay, so I'm going to put comment for that so that you understand. So this is an array for storing the different time interval, an array for storing the different time intervals. Now, between the two, this is for going up, and this one is for going down. All right, this is for num underscore journey. And next is for passenger. Again, it's an array for storing the number of free available tickets. And this one is an array for free available tickets going up. Sorry, this one going down and this one going up. Now, constant num journey is good. Now, we need to write down pseudocode for displaying free tickets available. Now, you're going to see that for task 2, it will require us to write a subroutine. So, since the beginning of it, I'm going to use a concept of subroutine here, which is grouping a block of code into under one particular name. Okay, so let's see first of all how we're going to output the code, how we are going to output the free available tickets at a particular time. So for where you're going to use a for loop for I is equal to 1 to num underscore journey. You're going to see it has stop highlighting now. For I is equal to 1 to num journey. Now you will have to be very careful here. Since we're going to access index time up and time down, we want to work it out from journey 1 to journey 4. So there are several logics that we can use. Since I've said the first index is going to start with 0, so when I'm accessing I have to do I minus 1. We don't really have the concept where the array start with 1, but there are several ways of doing it. Maybe you can place a 0 and don't use that value like this. Then this become index 0. But for now, we're just going to do I minus 1 so that you understand that we're accessing index 0. So for I is equal to 1 to num journey, we need to output the passengers up and their time that they're going up plus that of down. So it's quite simple. We do a console.write line. We output time underscore up at position I minus 1, since the index is going to start with 0. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ampersand. I'm going to concatenate hours with it because that's 9 a.m. So I'm just going to concatenate all like this. And then I'm going to save it's for time up. Put a space in between. Okay, and for that for time up, I need to output how many tickets are available. Therefore, for that, I'm going to use passengers underscore up at position I minus 1. Because like I said, the index start with 0 in Visual Basic. Now I have to copy the same line here, put it down. Instead of time up, I'm going to do time down. There is a small bracket missing here and here. Okay, so just let me add a few comments here. This is an array for storing the costs for each journey. Constant for the number of journey. Now for I is equal to 1 to num journey, what we're doing is normally we are looping 1, 2, 4, since there are 4 journeys. And here you need to understand that I'm doing I minus 1 because the first index in the array starts with 0. Okay, and this one is outputting num tickets. Num tickets, so going up and down. So I minus 1 because the first index in the array starts with 0 and ends with 3. And here outputting 3 num tickets available for going up. Now, as you know, I have to say for journey 1 what is happening and for journey 2. So instead of doing up, I can just do down here because I'm outputting for up and down. Passenger up, passengers down, time up and time down. Now maybe it will ask me to do a conversion between time up because time up is an integer. So we can do conversion of that after I run the code. Otherwise, what you can do is console.writeLine train journey ampersand concatenate with I for which train journey I'm speaking about. Next, I can place a blank line in between. And I have to do a console that read line to pause my program if you are well acquainted with Visual Basic. All right, let's run this and do certain changes. Okay, if you look at the output of this program, we have for train journey 1 at 9 a.m. it's going up and the number of available tickets is 480. Same for train journey 2, it's going to be this, and train journey 3, it's going to go on like this. Okay, the number of available tickets. Now you can make it a bit more decorative, it's fine. All right, so for the start of the day, we have already written a program to initialize the data structures to tutor passengers for each train journey. And we are using a particular logic here. We have 480. So if I want to know at a particular time how many passengers are attempting to the train at 9 a.m. In that case, I'm going to do 480 minus that particular value of remaining tickets. Now you could have initializers values to 0. Okay, but then when I'm outputting here, I will need to change that to 480 minus passengers up, I minus 1 either way. Okay, either you can do 0 here and then you minus 480 down. Okay. If you want, I can just show you what's really happening here. So I can initialize all of these to 0. Means there are 0 tickets that have been bought for now. But there will be a specific change on the last one, which should be 640 minus index value. For that, I will not need to add one if statement. But let me show you, I'm just going to ignore the first one. What could have been done in another way? Say we do 480 minus passengers up. But for the last one here, we have to write a if statement. Okay, we're going to have same answer, except for the train journey, we need to add an if statement. But this is what I have preferred normally to roll back to the concept of 480. Otherwise, everywhere we need to take into consideration that 640, which becomes very difficult. So the best way is to initialize all of them to 480 and then subtract that particular value when needed. Each train journey must be total separated. There are 4 train journeys up and down every day. So that's complete the task 1. If you look at task 1, it's quite simple, just initialization of the array, and then using those arrays to output their values. So quite simple for task 1. I'm going to send you this Visual Basic Code so that you can take a look and understand what is happening for this code. You already have the Pseudocode version, but it's important you run through the Visual Basic Code again if you have VB at your place, and try to analyze what is happening in the pre-release material. Okay, there is an array for time up, passengers down, cost, and num journey. So what's important in task 1? Up till now, you should have a list of variable, a list of constant, and a list of data structures that you're using in that particular pre-release material. So that's it for today's lesson on task 1. I'm going to send you this pre-release task 1 Visual Basic Code, including that of Pseudocode together in the same file. Thank you very much.